You have decided that waiting to be rescued isn't your style. Instead, you decide to swim for it. Let's find out what happens, shall we? You leap out of the boat. The putrid brown water splashes into your mouth. Gross. You swim a few strokes and suddenly find your knees scraping the bottom of the bog. The water here is less than a foot deep. Unbelievable. You are practically inches away from safety the whole time. Slogging through the brown foam, you wade to shore. Your clothes are dripping wet and smell like a sewer. Well, look on the bright side, you remind yourself. At least you didn't go down with your boat. But your troubles aren't over yet. You're standing in a dank, eerie forest that surrounds the lake. Creepy screeches echo through the misty night. And you're totally lost. The wind starts to blow. Shivering, you wrap your arms around your shoulders and wonder where your friends are and what they're doing. Then, pow! Something black and furry swoops down at you. You duck your head, but it comes at you again and again. A huge bat. You cover your head with your hands and try to run into a thick grove of trees. But the bat circles in front of you and dives again. Stop it! Stop it! You scream. As you turn and race towards some low bushes, you remember the stories, the horrible stories about bats making nests in people's hair. And the only way to get them out was to shave your head. Those stories, they weren't true, were they? You spot a big stick in the wet dirt and scoop it up. The bat swoops down at you once more, and thwap, you hit it. The bat falls to the ground, and you see that it's on a wire. It's a mechanical bat. It's all part of the ride, you think. You think about the boat ride. Boy, they really made things seem real at this carnival, you think. You feel much better when you gaze up ahead. There's a clearing. But when you see what's there, you scream. What a sight. You can hardly believe your eyes. You scream again. It's Patty and Brad. Hey guys, wait up, you yell. Hey, wait up, you yell to Patty and Brad as you sprint through the Space Coaster gate. They both ignore you and charge straight ahead. You follow them into a narrow tunnel that leads to the boarding area. You gaze down at the floor. Black rubber. It makes you walk with a strange bounce. Every few feet there's a round porthole window. When you glance out of one, you see astronauts planting flags on the moon. You peer out of another. Now they're seated in their capsule. This is amazing, you think. The figures look real. Totally real. After a long climb, you and Patty and Brad finally arrive at the loading area. A sleek, bullet-shaped capsule whooshes up and stops right beside you. It has 3 sections. Brad climbs defiantly into the last section. You leap into the front. Patty's left with the middle. And suddenly, you're trapped. Steel bars plunge down from above and drop across your lap and chest, pinning you in place. You can't move at all. Even your head is held by super strong headphones that clamp over your ears. A voice comes through them announcing, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, blast off. You hear a huge bang. Smoke and fireworks fill the air as your car starts up the first big hill. Your head presses against the seat as you climb higher and higher. That first hill is endless, but the view is awesome. From the top you can see all the side stalls, the haunted house, and a shadowy swamp. You can't believe how big the carnival is. Neat, Patty yells. There's Whatever she was going to say turns into a wild scream as the rocket plunges down the other side of the hill. The wind whips up at your face. You're pressed back so hard you feel like a pancake. Everything passes in a fantastic blur. As your car shoots up to the top of the next hill, you're laughing and screaming at the same time. This is great, you think. But then you make a big mistake. You close your eyes. When you open them, your car lunges forward with a burst of speed, and you do a loop-the-loop. Your mouth drops open to scream, but no sound comes out. Now your car starts to plunge downwards, like a lift out of control. Your heart pounds in your chest. This is the fastest and best roller coaster you've ever been on. As you near the bottom, you slow down. You begin to catch your breath, and then you see what's up ahead. A huge black hole, a tunnel. As you shoot towards the open mouth of the tunnel, you begin to scream again. The door of the tunnel is about to close. Snap! The door comes crashing down behind your car. You breathe out a long sigh. But now you're in a tunnel so dark that you can't see a thing. Scary, but not nearly as scary as what happens next. The ride stops, dead. You are sitting in the dark. Nothing is moving. "Patty! Brad!" you call. Silence. Why don't they answer? They have to be there. You try to twist around, but you're locked in your harness and clamped in your headset. Blinking in the dim light, your eyes dart to the left, then to the right. You spot dozens of empty space rockets lining the walls. They seem to come in sections, to make longer and shorter space rockets. Your mind starts working feverishly. Did your section detach from Patty and Brad's section? Suddenly, the silence is shattered. Your seat lock grinds open, and you are released from your harness. You quickly spin around. Patty's and Brad's cars have disappeared. If this is all part of the ride, maybe you should hop out. But if the ride is broken, maybe you should wait for help. Do you wait for help? Turn to page 92. Or do you hop out of the car? Go to page 111. Now, dear listeners, so that we can finish this story tonight, on Halloween night, I'm going to flip a coin to decide our fate. Your pulse pounds in your ears as you carefully lift yourself out of the car. The tunnel is dark and musty and really creepy. Anything could be lurking in the shadows. This must be part of the ride, you reason. And the more you think about it, the more convinced you are. You're scared, but you have to admit this is pretty cool. In the distance, you spot several red lights that seem to lead to other dimly lit tunnels. You cautiously head towards one of them. Overhead, something dark and slimy drips, splattering on the top of your head, stinging your forehead. As you desperately try to wipe the burning slime away, something grabs you by the knees. Ah! You look down. A pair of red-rimmed eyes meet yours. It's a dwarf with scraggy red hair and a toothless smile. "Want me to lead you out of here, kid?" he asks. You're about to follow the dwarf, but then you stop. Is this part of the ride? He looks really evil. What do you do? Again, listeners, I will be flipping a coin to decide our fate. What will happen? "Okay, get me out of here," you say to the dwarf. "Did you help my friends too?" The dwarf does not answer. He sprints off, and you have to race to keep up with him. Through a confusing maze of twisted tunnels. You're very glad to have a guide. The dwarf suddenly stops. "That way," he says gruffly, pointing straight ahead. Before you can blink, he vanishes in a puff of smoke, and you're left standing in front of two doors, one red, one blue. The red one has a sign that reads, "Danger." The blue one has a sign that reads, "Big Danger." Now the options that we have are to leave by the red door or to try the blue door. I'm going to flip a coin. Let's find out what happens. You open the blue door and peer through. You're staring down a long, dark passageway. At least you think it's long. It's difficult to tell. It's pitch black. You don't know what to do. "Maybe I should have picked the other door," you say to yourself. "I'm getting out of here." But the blue door has locked behind you. Now you're sure you made the wrong choice, but there's nowhere to go but forward. Your knees begin to tremble as you inch your way down the dark hallway. The passage ends in a bright burst of light, and in front of you a tall purple mountain rises hundreds of feet into the air. You breathe out a long sigh of relief. You're out of the dark. You study the mountain. It looks so real, but cut into its side you spot a doorway. Above it, a brightly painted sign reads, "Doom Slide. Will you be the one to slide forever?" You open the door and climb a steep ramp that curves around and around. It's cold and dark inside. Halfway up the ramp, you stop. There's another sign. "Warning, you may be the one to slide to your doom." You continue up the ramp. You finally make it to the top and find yourself standing on a wide, dimly lit platform. A row of long, curving slides stretches out before you. The slides are numbered from 1 to 10. You think hard. The Doom Slide. You know you've heard about it before, but where? Where was it? And then you remember. It was in a Goosebumps book you read, One Day in Horrorland. Now you know you're in big trouble, because you remember all about the Doom Slide from the book. You remember that if you pick the wrong slide, you'll spend the rest of your life sliding and sliding forever. Which number is the Doom Slide? Which one? Pick a number between 1 and 10. I've just rolled a dice and come up a 6. You slowly lower yourself onto the slide. You start to stretch out your legs when the bottom tilts underneath you and throws you forward. You're sliding fast. The surface must be made of some kind of special material because you're zooming down at top speed. You hold your breath as you fly through the blackness. A bump sends you bouncing into the air. You scream and scream. When is it going to end? Oh no, could this be the doom slide? You hear screams echo in the darkness. You twist around, but you don't see anyone. The ghostly screams grow louder in front of you, next to you, behind you, screaming and sliding, never stopping. You gasp for breath, and then you hear it. A voice cuts through the blackness, through the screams, a voice that cries, "Welcome to the rest of your life. Welcome to the doom slide." The end. A big thank you to everyone who's taken part in this interactive video. I hope you've enjoyed listening as much as I've enjoyed recording it. Happy Halloween.